Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth, and fancy seeing you here in June. I'm very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. And hello and welcome to Big Mouth, and welcome to today's Doctor Who video. Don't forget, you can continue the conversation, any conversation that I incite, ignite, shall I say, over on my Twitter, @MoviesTVMag. So breaking news, yes. Season 13 of Doctor Who will start filming in September, which pretty much confirms that there's no Doctor Who in 2021, apart from the New Year's Day special, and probably season 13 premiering, like this season did, January the 1st, New Year's Day 2022. So basically, this is the same thing they did last time, so everyone's getting their knickers in a twist. How do I feel about this? Look, this is how Chibnall works. Look, because it's not really my favourite era of Doctor Who, but of course this is very interesting as well, because if the finale is left up in the air and there is a change within the New Year's Day special where the Doctor's got new companions and stuff, it's going to be left in a very interesting place. In fact, I suspect that this Doctor Who season and this special on New Year's Day of 2021 will be left in a much more positive place than it was last time. Not necessarily a positive in tone in the narrative of the story, but in terms of excitement for the project. Excitement for Doctor Who fans to be excited when the show does finally return in January of 2022. I am not that bothered about it, to be honest with you. They put a lot more money in it now. There's a lot more shooting. Rather than just shooting in studios, they go around the world and they shoot. It takes time. It costs money. So I would say in this topic that less is more. So I'm okay with it. Of course, I want to watch brand new Doctor Who all the time. It simply isn't as simple as that. This is how Chibnall's going to run it. And getting my knickers in a twist or yours or your boxers really isn't going to make a difference here. So that's my opinion. So now, is Jodie Whittaker actually involved in season 13? She says yes. She says she's still the Doctor. I think that her and Chibnall are lying. Let me give you another idea. What if Sacha Dhawan isn't the Master and is actually the Doctor? Have I mentioned this on a video before? Well, I'm going to mention it again. So what if Sacha Dhawan was the Doctor in season 13? Of course, I'm probably wrong, but let's talk about this, and I want you to comment down below. Do you think that Sacha Dhawan will be a better Doctor than Jodie Whittaker? And I don't want to hear anyone will be a better Doctor than Jodie. I want to hear something a bit more expansive. Personally, I think Sacha is a brilliant actor. He's got a great CV, and he could... Look, Doctor Who has always been reliant on who plays the Doctor. You will get people saying it's all about the companions. People see themselves through the companions. We are all here to watch the Doctor. Simple as that. And the person playing the Doctor has got to have the presence and has to excite the audience. And unfortunately, whether it's Chibnall's fault or Jodie's fault or whoever's fault it is, she's not working on a scale to have enough people embracing her Doctor. That is a problem. That is Chris Chibnall's failure. Now, maybe by the finale, that will change and she'll become the Doctor for all of us. She'll become the Doctor for me like David Tennant did at the end of Last of the Time Lords, or how Matt Smith did during The Snowmen, right? I hope so, because it does take time for me. I've said this before. It takes time for me to embrace a new Doctor anyway. So if Sacha Dhawan is actually the Doctor, and bear with me here, did he really destroy Gallifrey? Is he lying? Is that Gallifrey? Why did Dr. Ruth, let's call her Dr. Ruth, not recall that happening? She said that Gallifrey was still standing. Now, of course, if she's a pre-Hartnell Doctor, it would be, because we're talking about times here, timelines as well. So that's plausible. But even though Chibnall discredited it, I still feel there's a multiverse feel about this. I think that the Master, or let's call him the Doctor, destroyed the wrong Gallifrey, or has he created an illusion? Did he really do it? Is he tricking the Doctor? What's going on here? Well, we're not going to find out until we get to that two-part finale. So this week's episode, an episode I've seen, brilliant episode, by the way. I think most people will be happy with it. People who don't want to be happy with this era will never be happy, and it's not worth trying to convince them to be. But I do feel that there's some trickery here, and I do feel that maybe Jodie won't be the Doctor next year. Of course, I made all these predictions at the end of season 11, and I was wrong then, and I'm probably wrong again. But watching TV and film, it's all about having your own thoughts and theories. Look, it's not wishful thinking. I think she's improved this year, and I think by the end of the season, she'll probably be a really good Doctor. But I do feel, and it's a bit bitty, isn't it? Sacha Dhawan being the Master. We saw what happened. Both the Masters died. They don't seem to have any explanation for that, and they're going to have to explain it, right? Is he a multiverse version of the Master? Again, Chris Chibnall hasn't discounted that. He just said that Joan Martin's Doctor, Dr. Ruth, wasn't from the multiverse, wasn't from another timeline. So for now, we have to believe him. But I think he's lying. As I say, when he was questioned by the press about a female Doctor, he said he didn't want to do any quick stunts or something like that. And he lied. And he always was going to cast a female, and it was always going to be Jodie. So he blatantly lied. So he's capable of it. So everything he said thus far could be a blatant lie. He said Captain Jack wouldn't be in the finale. It could be a lie. He loves to keep things under wrap. He probably isn't lying, but he's capable of it. Of course, we are all capable of lying, aren't we? Of course, he wants things to be a surprise. I genuinely think that the two-part finale is going to be off the scale. I really think it's going to be an electric moment that gets everyone talking, and even the rubbish episodes get people talking. But I think when you come out with taglines like "everything you think you know is a lie," I think that you've got to be prepared for something explosive to happen. And Sacha Dhawan actually being the Doctor will be an interesting thing. It would change things because we're used to seeing the regeneration, then finding out who's playing the Doctor. So this will be an interesting thing. And that's, of course, if Jodie actually ever was the Doctor. Something could have happened during her regeneration. We don't know, right? And it will be hard to explain. I don't see how they can explain it. I mean, but this is the guy who thought Capaldi wasn't actually the Doctor. I actually thought Capaldi was the Master, somehow linked into the Doctor while he was regenerating, and hid in prison Matt Smith's Doctor somewhere, and Matt Smith was going to come back as the Doctor. So I'm always coming up with like kind of really, really convoluted, I can't say it, convoluted or whatever it is, right? Theories about Doctor Who. So it's probably wrong, but I think it's interesting because I did have a feeling that look, both Russell T Davies, including the special, did 5 seasons of Doctor Who. Stephen Moffat did 6, right? So it looks like Chibnall's here for the foreseeable. He's going into production in September of his 3rd season. That means we've got him here for another 3 years, whether we like him or not, right? So we may as well accept it and just attempt to support this show through this era so we can all get through it, Chris and us, because he's not going to change. He's going to do what he wants to do, and we've either got to back this show or sack this show. We have the power to keep watching this show. If we walk away, less people are watching, less people are buying the product, less companies are buying it to air and stream it, then Doctor Who will die. Does anyone really want Doctor Who to die just so we can say, you see, a woman killed the show, which is stupid. It's not about that, right? It's about how you write the show, right? How you direct the show, right? So I think things are going to come out in that finale that are going to shock people, that are going to shock me. So before I finish off this video, yes, Doctor Who Season 13 will start shooting in September of this year. We will get a special in January, which I hear rumours it's a Dalek Civil War. Really exciting. Interesting that the last New Year's Day special was a Dalek episode, and this is going to be a Dalek episode too. If it's a Civil War, I'm really excited about, and we'll see how we get on with that. And then we probably won't see any Doctor Who till January the 1st, 2022. But of course, it's plausible that we may actually and get a brand new season in September of 2021. I doubt it, but they may have decided to reschedule because of the ratings, right? So they may think maybe, I mean, obviously now it's winter anyway, so I don't see how that will make a difference. But you're talking about autumn, or the fall as you Americans call it. It is a more peak period for people to stay in and watch TV. So we could start this September and air next year in September, or we may have to wait till January 2022. But there's going to be a bit of a gap, so it's going to be interesting when it will come back. But those announcements will come sooner rather than later. So what do you think? Could Sacha Dhawan actually not be the master and be the Doctor? Do you think it's plausible that Jodie Whittaker will finish off her run as the Doctor at the end of this season? Comment down below. Please like, share and subscribe. And I'll be back tomorrow because, as I call it, it's Doctor Who Day. How could I not do a video on a Sunday? So I'll be back tomorrow for that. Until then, see you around, TARDIS dwellers.